Welcome to On Song International, home of original music. If you like what you hear, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell below.
Hey On Song International community, my name is Steve and I'm an Afro groove inspired singer-songwriter from Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm here today to tell you about my debut EP called Philosophy. So what inspires me to write positive songs in a relatively negative world? Honestly, at times it can be pretty difficult. You know, I kind of deliberately have to steer clear of absorbing too much negative information. Particularly, you know, the media likes to portray a lot of negative stories. They like to feed us information that that is relatively negative, just because I think it sells. If I'm perfectly honest, so you kind of have to steer clear of that. But I think what my idea with this album is it's kind of a rebuttal to that, to be honest, to just remind people that there's a lot of good out there, there's a lot of positivity, and there's a lot of love, and all we got to do is just ensure that we keep on reminding ourselves of that, you know, and spreading those kind of messages to ensure that we're not bogged down too much with these negative undertones that exist in the world, you know. So what was the writing process like for this album, or at least the EP? It was cool, man. It was my first crack at writing songs, if I'm perfectly honest, and it was you know, I've learned a lot. I've learned a hell of a lot about my own songwriting style, and you know, how I can make that better, if I'm perfectly honest. I mean, you know, I'm really proud of this work, but we're always learning, aren't we? We just need to ensure that we're constantly growing in everything we do. So the writing process, it was a learning process, and the one thing I just wanted to make clear before I went into it with myself was just kind of what is the theme of what I'm trying to do here, you know, which is that message of positivity and love, and you know, you can reach for the stars if you put your mind to it and you dream. So it was important for me, at least when I was writing, to establish what it is that I wanted to write about, and then I found it a lot easier and a lot more organic, you know, to write these songs. So what can I tell you about the recording process? It was intense. It was really, really intense. So I recorded this album when I was still studying in Spain at Berklee College of Music in Valencia, and I mean, you know, that school is phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. Like, you can do anything. You know, so I went in there as a drummer. That's why I write a lot of songs based on groove, and I came out with the singer-songwriter project, you know, because I realized that I wanted to create something from the ground up, and I wanted to make an entire album. So what I had, the people that I had, most important were the people in this entire process. The people who were so willing to help me out. Everything from Scott Peters, the engineer, the producer. Scott Peters, the producer. He phenomenal musician, just a phenomenal human being, and all he wanted to do was make sure that this project got to the point, to the best possible point it could be, you know. And then everything, the engineers, Nitin, Sergio, Luis, those guys, amazing people, and they just worked around the clock to ensure that, you know, we had the best quality sound we could get. And then last but not least, the band that I worked with, I called them the Governors of Groove. Amazing people, and they were from 4 different countries, 4 different continents actually, which is pretty cool. Cliff, Jojo, Ricardo, and Mike. Just amazing musicians, phenomenal musicians. And the best part was that by the end of the year, we came together as a group, and really fed off each other a lot. We understood each other musically a lot, which makes such a big difference. But yeah, the recording process, super intense, super time consuming, but I loved every single second of being in the studio with those guys. Just amazing people, you know, an amazing process, and again, learning, man, just learning a lot. So what's next for Steve Umculo? Wherever this sort of organic path takes me, it's been going pretty well so far, and people seem to be responding to the music pretty well. I suppose, you know, it's such a lovely thing to have create something tangible, and then all of a sudden people are, you know, they're curious about it. They respond to it and they say, man, you know, this inspired me in this way, or it made my day better. That's the best one. It made my day better. You know, like I just put on your song and I got happy. I mean, like, that is a reward in itself, you know. But this project is taking off to the point where, you know, I'm holding it down, and hopefully we'll be able to do this full time pretty soon. And it's gearing towards that, which is really, really good to know. You know, people are responding to it enough that they want this sort of positive product as a part of their lives, you know. And it's just such a humbling thing. So yeah, so what's next? I got a tour coming up next week. Actually, I leave down doing a South African tour in my new car, which is super exciting. Bought a sort of a mini tour van kind of car, which is huge because I've always been cramped up in my little Ford Fiesta. Great car, but man, not enough space. Anyways, I ramble. So tour next week. We got next year, well, there's a whole bunch of gigs lined up for December that I'm holding down, and then next year hoping to go back to Spain for another tour, European tour, and I want to try and do a single every couple of months, if not an album every year. So look out for that, I suppose. And I'd just like to thank Unsong International and the entire community for wanting to hear my story. It's again, a very humbling thing, so thank you very much. Peace and love to everyone, and just remember to smile and spread your messages of positivity and love to everyone. All right, adios.